Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a somewhat late MMX hobby hangout with me, the most underrated 40k player ever to have lived, Mark Ward. We have head honcho of MMX, Matt Walker, and unfortunately we have James McKenzie with us as well. No, we love James. So today we'll be talking about, I imagine, we don't really have a schedule, as always. We just like to wing it, see what happens.
We don't stick to a schedule.
Get fun with the hobby, and you can't do that with a plan. Organised fun is no fun at all. So I imagine we'll talk about the tournaments we have coming up. Probably the Assassins will come up. An FAQ might have come out today. So yeah, we'll just get right into it. Also, we had a few technical difficulties. That's why we're late. So shout out to Brian on XSplit support, who saw that we could make it to stream tonight. Also, we only told you to tune in at 7. We never actually said that's when we were starting. So yeah. It's your own fault.
Technically, like.
So, guys,
regular fans know that we always start half an hour behind schedules.
Fashionably late to our own stream is what we said.
What I would like to bring up is, whilst Matt was trying to fix the issues and wasn't on the Skype, me and Mark had a little guess, and I will point out, Mark, it is 38 minutes past 7.
Yes, you did win the bet. All right. Let's move on. So, guys, what have we been working on this week in terms of hobby?
James, lead on.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't do his own hobby, James.
Oh, well. Shit's going
Matt's
down.
Be doing hobby right now.
Yep.
He's got
I built a bunch of models. I've been painting G-Steel Occult, lots of acolytes, lots of hand flamers. I hear they're quite good. A lot more to do for this weekend's tournament.
Yes,
That would be
which
why
we'll
I've been
to later on.
selling so many hybrid acolytes then, yeah?
It turns out everyone in MMX but me seems to be splitting up kits right now. So
yeah. Just I was a little bit gutted at how fast the Kelemorphs sold, because I did want to keep some of those.
What, multiples?
Mm-hmm.
Multiple Kelemorphs?
Yep.
Wow.
3 of them.
There you have it. That's what's going to be powerful.
So how about you, Matt? What are you currently working on right now then?
Now, this exact second, I am rebuilding some Storm Boys for newest member of MMX, Tom Douch. I hear he's going into the Storm Boy meta, so hooking him up. I'm sending him 40 odd Storm Boys. I think James is sending him some Storm Boys. So just,
Yep.
We're still yet to get the picture of him holding his jacket.
Yeah.
As we announced the signing, with a scarf at the MMX home ground. We're also yet to have a MMX home ground, so
or need a scarf.
Yeah, or a scarf. I mean, we can make a scarf.
We'll get there.
And I have connections. I could get us a scarf.
Glue together a bunch of dice trays.
Yeah, that'll work.
So myself, I have been, obviously, because it's me, working on everybody's armies but my own. So we've got a bit of the MMX Harlequins, which I guess you could count as my own, really. I'm the only one in it. Oh no, James has now used them as well. So
Undefeated with the MMX Harlequin.
I mean, you played me in a terrible chaos list. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got, currently on my painting desk, I've got Dave Forster, friend of the stream's Demon Prince. It's the Forge Corn one, which is awesome. He's put some Hive Tyrant wings on it, so it looks mean as all hell. I've got a Kiss Bomb on the upper bit of my shelf to be worked on next. I've got a box full of Dark Reapers and Hemlocks. Behind me, there's a box with 3 vultures belonging to someone that I've just airbrushed in a box over there. And then next to that box, I have the rest of Dave's demons. So, and upon receiving all that, my detail light has decided it does not want to work anymore. So that is, of course, very, very fun for my hobby progress. I'm on a painting hiatus for 2 days while I wait for a replacement bulb.
Oh, that is going to really crack down on you. That's a lot of commission work there. It is.
I'm a popular man right now.
Good.
And I forgot about the razor wings up there as well. So there's a lot of flyers in my house at the minute.
Yeah.
Entire air force at my disposal right now.
I hear that might be a meta pick.
Yeah, I hear it did well at a somewhat notable tournament.
Well, I watched a bit of the Glasshammer stream the weekend for the Belgian team championships just been going on. And one of the Team England guys was running a Farseer, a Warlock, 3 Rangers, and I think it was 14 Eldar and Dark Eldar planes.
14.
That was his whole list.
It's a lot. It's a lot of planes.
Just ridiculous.
Guys, so I was thinking, with obviously our RTT coming up on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to talk a bit about lists, not lists that we're specifically taking, but the 3 of us, I think, have a very different approach to a tournament list. I think that's fair to say. So
Yeah.
I just wanted your guys' thoughts on what you pick in your tournament list and why you pick it. Just I think it's something a lot of people talk about what's necessarily great in the meta for the armies that you're running, but I think obviously us 3 have a very different approach to what we're going to take. So
Okay.
we'll start with James, because James likes to write a tournament list or 2.
And talk.
And talk.
Wow, rude. This one coming up is a bit weird, actually, because I've not really practiced a lot, and it's not one for me that the models at my disposal aren't really what I want. So the list that I've written for this one is, I'd say, weaker than I'd normally play. I think I'm intentionally taking a weaker list because it's what I'll have painted, and also because it's my first event with the new codex. I'm going to run something a bit softer, something a bit fluffier, something a bit more how I feel I'd like the cult to be played.
I think in your case in particular as well, you don't want people copying your list straight off the bat, do you, James, from the first tournament you've attended?
Well,
Yes.
we 2 weeks later, we've got the GW finals.
Yeah.
Which, if I do well at that list, the cat will be out of the bag anyway on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think usually I sort of have a play style in that I like fast aggressive lists. I prefer speed over resilience. I'll generally try and play a combat army rather than a shooty army. I find I really struggle with defensive lists where I have to screen my opponents out. I'd much rather be the one smashing through the screens than trying to keep the screens up.
Yeah.
So I'll pick lists to that effect. I'll try and pick lists that have synergies but that don't necessarily rely on them. They're better with them, but I think a mistake a lot of people make is they'll have a really convoluted combo that when a piece falls out of it, the army just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so it's about giving yourself options, which is why I like speed, because you can get yourself out of trouble. If you make a mistake with a fast army, you can generally rectify it quite nicely. Yeah, and I prefer to play much more aggressive than defensive, so I'll play KG for the first couple of turns, and after that I'd like an army that can really go out and punish my opponent rather than try and outlast them.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. We have very slow starts to games when we play. Very slow starts.
I've literally taken first turn and then refused to use it before.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I say, it's a bit weird at the moment. I don't necessarily think that I'm currently writing good lists with this Gene Steel Cult book.
I think you're just in the period where I think it's fair to say that you're just feeling a few things out, aren't you?
Yeah,
Maybe building with a specific play style or theme in mind, seeing what units are sort of suiting that, and then you can build up a big database of essentially, well, with MameSpot, obviously.
I also think that the way that this codex plays will very much be as a horde army that punches you before you get to punch it. And I just don't have the models in my collection at the moment to play that horde, because obviously, having played all of 8th with Tyranids and Gene Stealer Cult, I've been playing with Aberrants and Gene Stealers. And I don't think that's the way to go with the new codex. I think Acolytes are very much the power. But Acolytes are ridiculously expensive. It's, I think, £25 for 35 points worth of models. Which,
Jeez.
Pretty brutal, GW. Thanks for that one. But there's ways and means to go around it, but I don't think. I predict now that most competitive Jinx Cult lists will have 60 to 100 acolytes on. And the only thing that's going to stop people doing that is the price point.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But yeah, so that's sort of where I come from on it.
I think it's fair to say that Matt has a somewhat different approach.
Yeah.
What would you say your approach to tournament list building is, Matt?
To list building itself, not selection. So.
No, more or less the same thing. I'm thinking. You know, why are you going to take a specific list and a specific army to a tournament?
Well, most people, most of our local people would assume that I just pick a list based on how good it's doing in the meta, which, if you look at some of what I played, isn't true, because that would lean me towards playing Ynnari or something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas if you
took Admech to the LVO.
Yeah,
so.
if you look at what I tend to play, it's actually usually something that is quite bully and quite resilient. So it's Knights, it's Custodes, it's something that does get that board control. Doesn't necessarily have a lot of models. I do better with elite armies. I tried the Nagel Demons and I've played Orcs. Like I can cross into that, but reactionary play with more elite armies and control of that is something I find easier to do.
Yeah.
It's always quite interesting when me and Matt draw each other in a tournament, because our playstyles are really opposite, and it sort of turns into a very interesting game, because Matt's very happy to sit back and let me be the aggressor and then respond to that, which we've had some really tight games on the back of that.
We discussed it at Vegas, didn't we? Like, I'll go into a matchup. I might not know what stuff's done, but I prefer to be able to react to what's going on anyway.
Whereas I'm the complete opposite. I want to be the one imposing the pressure and trying to force my opponent into errors, rather than Matt will sit back and let you make them, then try and jump on them.
Yeah, exactly that. So if I play an opponent who doesn't make errors and I make errors, it does come back to haunt me. And maybe I should probably practice more with.
I think that's a fair comment to make.
I mean, it's been proven when I played the Custodes for a prolonged amount of time, or when I was playing the Knights for a prolonged amount of time, I get the results I'm really looking for with them. I'm not sure what I'm taking this weekend yet. I've got a good idea, and it'll probably fit that kind of theme, but at the moment, it's probably going to be Imperial. I do have a lovely new army that our local guys have started to see a bit of this week, which we'll probably bring to the stream sometime. But I don't want to take that to a tournament just yet. I feel it'll be a waste of a tournament, and I'll be unhappy with myself. Don't know.
Yeah. So with me, it's kind of a weird approach in that I'm still very much a hobby more than I am competitive. I've started getting into competitive a lot more recently, obviously, and I obviously did very well at the Imps GT with what I took. But I mean, even me and James have had multiple conversations about sort of the lists that I run, and I always want to make it more, because at the minute I'm playing Harlequins, I always want to make it definitely a Harlequins army with a little bit of help from Craft Worlds. So I think you're really holding yourself back if you're not taking that Supreme Command detachment that I run of Eldrad and 2 Warlocks.
Just Doom.
But, yeah.
Doom and Jinx.
Doom and Jinx. Even, to be fair, I've said multiple times now that I think my other power, Drain, is now better than Jinx, and in the way that I play, I think it's definitely about to become more handy. Sort of catching up to what I need to be doing with it.
I think that's the case because of what else in your list. I think Jinx is a better power, but I think Jinx is a better power in the list where you've got the Soul Bursting, Dark Reapers, and Shining Spears and stuff, because that negative to invuln saves really matters, whereas your Mortal Wounding Knights to death with Skyweavers, you don't care about the AP on your weapon.
Yeah, I think a lot of my list building can potentially fall apart a lot in that there is typically always something in there that I think is really cool and want to take to a tournament when it's not necessarily the right thing to take. Like at the minute, the list that I'm going to be currently running at the weekend, there is 3 Star Weavers full of Harlequin troops. And while they can be good, they're not necessary. My list has changed up. I ran a list that I'm planning on running later on against you, James, and I think we both agree that it's definitely better. And it's got a bit of a shift. I'm really looking forward to using that new unit when I finally get it into my list. But yeah, I think that's where our approaches sort of differ in that I've got something that I'm like, I've got to take this to a tournament. I've got to see it on the tabletop, and
you see,
just to see it.
What I find really, really interesting there is the way you two have both described your tournament approaches. Matt with his sort of the way that you say you've not practiced and you feel like that does sometimes hold you back. And Mark with his I'm taking units because I think they're cool because I want them in the hobby aspect. I've just said I'm not really happy with my tournament list for this weekend, and it's not the way that I've approached it. That's exactly what I've done for this tournament: is pick units I think are cool and not really practiced it properly.
Yeah.
I think I'm in more of a lucky spot though. I really think, and I'm gonna stand by this until I'm completely certain I'm wrong, that there is definitely a role for those Harlequin troops in competitive play. I just really need to learn how to use them. I think every time I've used them, they've shown signs of greatness. I think there's been a moment where I'm like, yeah, these things are insane. These troops are absolutely insane. And then they get rinsed by something, and then I go back to being like, maybe they are kind of dead points. I mean, a Harlequin troop with a fusion pistol and caress is something like 27 points. And that's an insane number when you think about a toughness 3 one-woman mob.
With a 4-up save.
With a 4-up save, yeah. So I think, like I've been saying to you, James, I think if I can get these powers to work and I'm a bit better with my placement of models and stuff like that, I think I've got a real place for those Harlequin troops in my army. So that's what I'm going to stick to, I think.
Yeah. I think with the Harlequin troops, it's about positioning in a safer fashion while still getting use out of them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time, troops come out and they really do work, and then they just get smacked, and they can't take the smack back.
Yeah. It's an army that I think another way of my tournament approach is that Harlequins are definitely not the easiest army to win with, but when you win with them, you feel like you are the best player at the tournament. Like you don't see a lot of Harlequin players, and I think when you're up on the top, like when it was at Imps and I came 4th, I was like, geez, I've really done well with this army.
Yeah.
And not to take anything away from anyone who's running, I don't want to say an easy army to play, because I think, if you're winning 4 out of 5 games, 5 out of 5 games, you've outplayed someone good. You have to have played someone good. But I think there's a few armies in there where it's like you need to know how they work to get them to work.
Yes, I would agree with that. I think there's some armies that, I'd agree. No army's easy to play, but there are some that are simpler. There's less points.
Yeah.
Some have lower skill caps.
Yeah. I think recently... go on, James.
Sorry. I was just going to say, with the lower skill caps thing, I think that also... that's true, but that some armies also have a higher reward for the skill.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I've also, since just before the LBO, I've been looking at a lot of Sean Nyden's lists as well. I really like his approach to tournaments in that he's going to pick something that's a bit out there and a bit weird and try and run with it and win with it. And that's an approach that I think I'm going to try and take for the ITC season this year. And I think my thing is going to try and be the Kiss Bomb. I think I'm going to try and get that in every list and see about making it really work.
I mean, it's a tough act to model yourself on because the guy's a wizard.
He is. He's absolutely insane with some of the fact that he got to the top 8 with that list and no one could quite figure out how he did it. was brilliant.
It was certainly an interesting list.
But yeah, I think I'm very much in the boat of I want to win my way. I don't want. I mean, I've got the 3 Razor Wings. We've got the 15 Dark Reapers behind me now. I've got the typical tournament tools to do well.
Can be that. I do think now, though, with certain builds, which I think we saw a bit at LVO, certain builds, it almost favours you to not go that build.
Yeah.
Like, so many people now have fought Ynnari Shining Spears and Dark Reapers.
Yeah.
And the Castellan and Kathchan build, and even to an extent the Orcaluta Star.
Yeah.
Like, my first round at LVO, I drew the Orcaluta Star and saw him deploy and knew how the game ended because I've played that matchup.
Yeah.
So many times now. I know exactly what we're both going to do. And I know it works out in my favour often.
I think now with the release of your, obviously the Gene Stealer Cult Codex, James, we're in the strangest spot we've been in with the meta right now. You know, everything bar the Sisters is out. We're getting monthly updates in White Dwarf to very random armies, I think.
Mm-hmm. This Assassin thing was out the blue.
Yeah, we've got another Vigilus coming in however many days now.
Very, very random armies as long as you're an Imperium player. But yeah.
I don't know. I obviously don't know what the next one's going to be, but
no.
Chaos are going to get a lot. We're in the next 4 weeks. We're seeing a big change in Chaos as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what you think about it, James, in that your Codex has just dropped and you maybe can't think, I'm going to pick this list because you know in 4 weeks it might be like, shit, I've now got to do this or I need this.
I think the only update that bothered me with the latest ones, there's always going to be meta tweaks and stuff that you have to adapt. I mean, we all know that last year I played the same faction, basically Tyranids, a little bit of Gene Stealer Cult, or Gene Stealer Cult with a little bit of Tyranids, depending on the event, all year, more or less. And I probably took the same list to maybe 2 events in a row, like once, because you're definitely tweaking for meta. But the only one that annoyed me was like 2 weeks before they brought out Gene Stealer Cult, the infantry light squishy army that I've been wanting to run the whole time, was getting brought out, Death Beta, Bolter, Super, everybody got the 2+2 wound, rerolling all hit shots thing, and Storm Shields to ignore the Rending Claws. It was almost like giving a fig to the Gene Stealer Cult players who've been waiting patiently, but...
Yeah, I get what you mean with that one. But no, I think we're just... It's a really cool time for the competitive scene right now, in that, like I said, there's about to just be a whole shit ton of rules just get dropped on us, and you know I think they planned the meta really well with Orcs following really closely to Knights and stuff like that.
Although I don't necessarily think Orcs are a good counter to Knights.
No, but what I'm meaning is people were getting stomped on by Knights, changing their lists, and then 180 boys rocked up to every tournament.
Yeah, there is that.
It's bringing diversity in the meta.
Yeah. They shook it up really well.
Yeah. My slight concern is with the new chapter of missions doing away with the tabling rule. I think we'll see a lot of flyer lists. I think that's where the meta is going to go next.
I think with Alex being on in the final of the LVO, we're going to possibly see some change to flyers in the next FAQ. Which March is that?
Spring, technically. So it was originally March, wasn't it? They changed after. It's basically going to be shortly after Adepticon.
Yeah.
So, usually it coincides with a GT, doesn't it? So whenever we're running a GT, people, that's when the FAQ is coming.
Yeah. The whole GT is the 6th and 7th of April. Expect the FAQ on about the 4th because they usually screw me over the day after list submission.
So I've nailed it. The last 2 GTs I've run, I've nailed the FAQ the week of.
Yeah, it always shakes up the tournament a little bit. It's also a fun attempt trying to TO that when everyone wants to know, because their CP farms have just been nerfed, how many CP they can get back a game, and you constantly get the question, can I do it pre-game?
That caused a little bit of controversy last time.
There was a little bit of controversy last time. It was all light-hearted controversy though, so it was all good.
It was all fine. So it was especially fun when we did the deep strike nerf, and there was no turn 1 deep strike. Where the rule clearly stated that you couldn't deep strike turn 1 no matter what happened. And then Warhammer Community brought out a little picture that said that certain units could, but completely contradicted the rules. They had to go back and change it all. Because I answered about 25 deep strike questions the correct way, and then had to re-answer them all when GW changed their mind.
I believe that was the thing, wasn't it? When we got to the tournament during the briefing, it was like, do you know what Warhammer Community put out? Yeah, just ignore it. It's dumb.
Yeah.
They have a habit of doing that now, the Warhammer Community. They should just get them to leave rules alone.
Talk to the rules writers before they do anything else.
I mean, just look at Harken World.
Yeah. Well, we don't need to, because Boss is going to be out in a few weeks, probably.
That is true. He's been confirmed. He's coming.
I mean, we shouldn't rag too much on Warhammer Community, because they do.
Oh, I love them. I absolutely love it. I love these little rule debates that they actually throw out there. I think they're brilliant. They're just not entirely helpful.
No, I think maybe they should not make any sweeping statement on rules. They can encourage that debate, but they shouldn't really be. Oh, you definitely can do that. Because then we have to backtrack when the designers come out and disagree.
So what else have we seen coming out this week? I know they've slowly been previewing. Is it Shadow Spear, the new
Shadow Spear, which I really thought was
a lot of cool stuff in there.
I thought that was possibly going to get announced yesterday, but they're hyping it like mad. Please talk more about Minari and forgetting stuff when you go to home. Yeah.
Considering the only JP, I think we can all guess who that might be.
That's,
I think JP got a very, very good weekend there. He got some dice and a tape measure, I believe.
Yeah.
We've already won some Eldar canopies.
We're just going to open the whole GT by giving him dice this time.
We could just give him some dice.
We could. Yeah. We have plenty going spare because none of us want to use them.
They're just awful.
I tried going back to them for one of our games, and my solitaire, who hits on 2s with 10 attacks, missed 5 times. So I was like, we're... He's going back.
I'm calling it now. We're about to see the year of Nanavati's demise, because I managed to sneak a load of MMX dice into his mixed dice pool.
It taints the pool as well. My Harlequin has been getting a little angrier because they're in the same bag.
Maybe stream games will be really good if we just put them in stream games. You won't know what the hell's going to happen because it would just be two people playing terribly.
Well, during the GT stream, me and Billy were obviously commentating over the games, but game 1 was between Dan Martin and John Muller, both of whom were using the MMX dice and are in the MMX team. So we couldn't quite tell what was happening during the game.
Brilliant.
But it was sure fun to try and figure out who was rolling what.
And that's a Canoness just finished off a Fire Raptor there, Billy. I'm not sure how, but...
Yeah, Canoness is doing 47 attacks to that night, Billy.
Seems okay.
Yeah. Looking at the new Shadow Spear set, I've done a few Raptors, a few Primaris Raptors. I mean the chapter, the Raptors. There's obviously no set called the Raptors. And I've never been more tempted to do a Primaris army until I saw the new stealth guys coming out.
The new stealth guys look incredible.
They look insane.
That's like I said. Chaos is going to be a different place when that box set comes out. So are
hope so.
So are Primaris. They might not be in a different place, but there's more. They said they're all new units coming out. They're all new multi-pose units. So the Primaris stuff that's coming out is different to what we've got already.
Well, with the Bolter Beta rule, you're seeing a lot more people think, I'm going to start taking more Marines now. The Primaris with the Vigilus strat and the Bolter Beta rule are now genuinely not an army to be messed with.
Yep. No, they did well at Heat recently as well, didn't they?
Yeah, I believe they won Heat
4, yeah.
4
Yeah.
recently. And there was wasn't it a Primaris army that nearly top 8'd LVO? Or am I making that up?
Don't know.
There was one with repulsors, I think. I think it made the top 12.
Something like that. There was a Primaris army that did really, really well at the LVO, and a lot of people were surprised to see it there.
I don't know how that army did so well at Heat 4.
Yeah, it's a Guilliman gun line, so it depends. Like, One World's not known for its
Yeah,
terrain.
there was a few Smash captains in there as well. I believe he said helped him out with Slay the Warlords and Linebreaker.
Yeah.
So you get 2 extra points at the end of the game.
Yep,
Pretty
but I
big
mean, it's a Guilliman gun line. If you get to go first and you shoot a lot, it does work.
And at 1750 on the boards that they have at Warhammer World, you know, a gun line is
no real terrain.
No.
So if you catch someone with their pants down, you're in, aren't you?
Yeah, I think that was what the demise was of my Harlequins at Heat 3. I just couldn't hide anywhere, which I needed to do.
Yeah. Well, I paid 200 odd points to have transports that I could just set up as walls and stand behind.
Yeah, you technically brought your own terrain, didn't you, James?
That was the idea.
I think you were tempted at one point with a Bastion as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I was considering a Bastion, but they were way more points than I thought they were. I was actually originally going to swap out for 2 Bastions for that army, but I didn't realise how expensive they were, like, points-wise.
How many points are they? Because I've been...
Like 180, something like that, each. Yeah, really, really pricey.
Because I've been thinking about Cataphrons in them, but you don't get to play the strats on them, so it really...
Yeah.
The idea of a Cataphron in a Bastion's kind of weird.
Infantry, mate.
I know they're infantry, but still. The thing's bigger than the door.
I was originally looking at them for Hive Guard, but you're not in sign-ups range because you're not on the board.
Ah, so you're at -1 to hit, I believe, aren't you?
Yeah, unless you shoot the closest thing, yeah.
Right, yeah.
John just put in the chat. Played a game of the Belgian team champs. Opponent gave him a dice and he immediately used it to seize. Brutal.
5, 10, 20 Storm Boys! 20 Storm Boys! See, this guys, no one's clocked onto this. This is MMX role reversal. Because normally MMX works on my armies, I don't work on other people's armies.
God, Tom has got a lot better contract than me. I shouldn't have been the first guy to join. I think that's the... You get a really long contract, but it's not a great one.
Students, mate. Students.
Students, indeed.
Speaking of students, John, do you want some dice? Need to,
sign on this dotted line.
Yeah. We can supply you with dice every tournament, John. All you gotta do is put your team down as MMX.
Either we're now just actively recruiting the chat.
Who else is in the chat? We've got Nanavati in there somewhere.
John could play under MMX. We could get him a nice little shirt. Or a big
Yeah,
shirt.
get you a shit.
I mean, he'd look better in a nice little shirt. But...
John is a tall man. He does need a long shirt.
Nah, cropped up.
Oh, MMX hot pants.
MMX hot pants. There we go. That's what we need.
I think he's a Glasgow man these days.
I believe he is, yeah.
Or Belgium.
More friends of the stream. Great say, guys.
Everybody, friends of the stream.
Everyone should be friends of our stream.
I don't think we do enough to make enemies on the stream.
No.
I mean, everyone kind of dislikes James, though.
Yeah.
I don't think we can really handle that much beef yet.
Yeah.
The MMX diss tracks are something to behold.
Mark's album will be coming out later this year.
Someone tell me what I'm building still.
Satisfied but never proud. That's what it's called.
Wow.
I have a lot more exciting things next to me ready to build.
What do you have,
What have you got next? Because we should definitely move the conversation away from Mark.
So, first up is...
You put them away.
And then, if anyone can guess what these are, there's a point in it for you.
I mean, really,
focus, so it's got their
Those look
Terminators.
like Terminators, Matt.
They are Wolfguard Terminators.
You're doing a Adepts Astartes. Everyone's got a Storm Shield suit.
No.
He's not doing that.
What I've realised is I had these Wolfguard Terminators that I acquired for a good price. Although it's all gone a bit to pot, actually, because that's got a bit held. I didn't really plan this through.
I personally get worried whenever there's a meta change, and I'm just about to start doing my own stuff again.
I thought...
Yeah,
Oh no, I think I'm right. The Deathwatch upgrade sprue, does it come with these two shoulder pads in the middle Terminator ones?
Yes, there are 2 Terminator ones.
Well, there we
the
go.
rest aren't.
So these Wolfguard are becoming Deathwatch Terminators. Anyone else repeating 18 old scattered dice? Repaid 18 scattered free resin? Yes, John. Mark's doing that. Someone may have bought him some razor wings before they flew out to the LVO.
Someone may have messaged me at 3 a.m. telling me they'd arrived.
brilliant.
I think that was when as soon as we
landed. And then assured me that you had landed safely.
He's like, oh, razor wings are there, and yeah.
We're not dead, but 14 planes.
I think you also got another 2 planes.
I do have another 2 planes. I believe there's more planes coming, or to be.
I am almost certainly completely happy that downstairs there are another 3 planes for you, and in the box over there's 2 squads of Rangers for you, and there's some Eldar Guardians as well. Out of curiosity, how do you guys feel about the current state of the meta following LVO? From an outside perspective, it definitely seems like the overwhelming amount of Eldar flyers and Imperial suit list are a glaring problem. I agree.
I think hashtag Netha Castellan.
I
don't want to see it hit. I don't want to see it like taken out of the meta. But when it's being almost taken in every Imperium list, and it's almost winning games on its own, something has to sort of change about it. I don't really like the idea of an auto include for any, not even just like a Knights list. It's in every Imperium list.
I agree. And I saw some people on Facebook this week like, oh, well, yeah, but the problem is when you take it with guards and make guard, it's like, no, you can't make guard more expensive because that doesn't fix the problem. I mean, points increase for the Castellan, you will lose more toys, but that kind of works. Limiting the use of the stratagems on it.
Yeah,
I saw quite a nice idea that you can the knights only get access to the stratagems if they take a proper detachment, not the auxiliary. Because then you can have the Castran Brigade. Don't get the 3+. You'd only get the 4+ invuln if he was actually a warlord, because you wouldn't be able to buy a warlord trait.
Yeah.
Yep.
You wouldn't be able to buy Call's Wrath.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just too. I mean, not only that, I mean, a lot of people were talking about, I've listened to a few podcasts where people are talking about Tyranids, and the Castellan literally takes out every one of the big beastie options for Tyranids. Yeah. You can't take them to a tournament because you're going to hit a Castellan if you do well, and it's not even a contest at that point.
Yeah. I mean, I played Imps GT, I think I played 2 Castellans with Swarm Ward, Old One Eye, and Double Florent.
Yeah.
I don't think I made it past turn 3 with any of those alive in either games. And it was just I essentially turned up and went, well, I'm going to score as many points as I can and see if you can catch me on points. Which is how you play against Knights.
Yeah. As well, I really dislike a model that big having a 3++. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I dislike most models having a 3++, but I'll accept it on like one models where they fail it and it's bad times, or on characters, because, you know, they're characters, fair enough.
Yeah, but the idea of a knight is that it's got, what is it, like 27, 28 wounds, toughness 8? It's already resilient. Don't...
Yeah, I agree. 3++ on the cast. I think John makes an interesting point. He's saying that the playing list isn't that oppressive. It's only really done well twice, and that's in the hands of Harrison and Chewie, who are both fantastic players.
I want to see Matt run it, because Matt was quite the X-Wing ace back in his day.
Yeah.
Legend would have it.
Let's put it in the hands of Matt. See if he can.
I think my issue, John, with the flyer list is how much it invalidates other lists. In the even more so than knights, because knights invalidate a lot of armies that can't really hurt them very well. There are a lot of combat armies in the game who can't move because the flyers move block them, can't shoot because they're a combat army, and they literally don't get to play the game. They just get to walk around near planes.
Yeah.
And that's my issue. I think at the very least you need to look at move blocking with planes. I think it should be. We were discussing this the other day, and my fix for it was you can't end on a place, but you can move through them. As long as you can clear the plane's base in one movement, it doesn't move block you, because you get into stupid situations where. But I played a stream game at Go, and I had a unit of Gene Stealers that couldn't move anywhere. They had the movement across the entire table, but they were just planes in the way. So they were just stuck, and it's just silly.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that you can't move through a plane space. I really think it's absolutely insane that you can't. There is no reason at all that it should block you.
Yeah, I think you've got to say that you can't end your move in a plane space because you don't want people placing models on each other's bases and stuff. You know, people put a lot of time and effort into there.
Yeah, it's just problematic for playing the game. It's not any sort of rules thing. It's just irritating to play the game if that's the case.
Yeah, you wouldn't. There are people out there who put a lot of time and effort into their army. They don't want people piling models on their bases. You know, that's fair. That's legit.
I think with the playing list as well, you can say it does all these things, but I think it's more a case of how do you stop that in a list building term, just because people can take that amount of planes. Like,
We'll have to somehow limit flyer.
I'd say,
but then you're taking a lot of stuff out. Like, I think the plane list is a really cool one to see.
Yeah, I like the plane list. I think Alex's plane list is less ridiculous than Chewie's. Because Chewie's is the one I mentioned before. He's got like 3 units of Rangers, 2 Psychers, and then 12 or 14 planes or something. That's just insane.
Although technically he will then have more Psychers because 3 of the planes will also be Psychers.
Yeah, I just meant ground troops. He had like a Farseer and a Walk or something.
Yeah.
Whereas Alex's at least did interact with the board. He had the Scat Bikes, he had the Storm Guardians. You know, while he was obviously majority points in planes. I just find it not particularly fun to interact with. And
I get that.
I think whilst obviously we're playing a competitive game, I think there still needs to be the element of fun, because otherwise, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people that playing list just isn't an enjoyable thing to play against.
I've always said, in terms of playing Warhammer, any sort of rule or anything that you do that takes your opponent out of the game and just it becomes you rolling dice at them is always a problem. Like, that was my big addition, my big problem with like Tau a few editions back. With all the Markalites, like, I'd play a Tau army and they were just throwing dice at me and telling me to remove stuff. I was like, I don't know what's happening. It just felt like I was no longer playing a game.
Yeah, I get that.
Not to specifically have a go at Tau players.
But I understand the point. It's why I like combat armies, because I feel like you both get up, you get involved, and it becomes it's an extremely interactive way of playing it.
Yeah.
So Chewie played 10 planes, 3 Rangers, 3 into Rangers, 3
That's
characters.
insane.
Yeah.
I'd be terrified at running that list, though, because I definitely lose like 5 of those to my own stupidity.
With the Eldar planes, they get double pivots, so they're actually...
Yeah, but only a few of them do, not all of them do.
All the Eldar planes do, none of the Drukhari.
Yeah, so I'm definitely losing 6 planes.
He only had 3 Drukhari planes, because he had 3 Crimson Hunter X-Ups and a Hemlock.
I'm looking forward to getting my hands on the Void Ravens.
The Void Ravens are an interesting one, because they give you a bit of a get out of jail free.
I really like the idea of two Razor Wings and a Void Raven.
I enjoy that John's clearly got lag from where we're discussing, because he's just put in the chat, just you rolling dice with them, so Tau, and then a laughing face. which means he's not got to the stage where we talked about how to like Tau.
My specific example for when I said that.
And I did have a bit of that LVO in my Tau matchup where I moved up and charged and got shot. Then it was his turn in the shooting phase. I got shot. Then I charged him again and got shot.
Yeah.
And all that happened was I got to move some models around and get shot.
So what we're saying is fuck Tau players, right? No offense,
definitely to start with. Yeah, I would agree with Jamjar in that the Crimson Hunter and the Exarch should be considered the same data sheet. So you can only do 3, not 6 of them. I think that's pretty reasonable.
But one of them is a Psyker, Jamjar.
No. The Crimson Hunter and the Crimson Hunter Exarch is just a better ballistic skill.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. No, I thought you meant, Hemlock and...
Yeah, Hemlock and Crimson Hunter.
Yeah.
Entirely different things. But no, I think the Crimson Hunter and the Crimson Hunter Exarch... To be honest, when I first saw Chewie's list, I thought that might be a mistake. I genuinely thought they were the same thing.
Yeah, no, that's kind of crazy. I own the Eldar Codex. I should know that.
But, like I said, the Flyers, I'd never want to ban a list from a game. And I think there are meta matchups, like... Again,
you build a list knowing its weaknesses, I think.
Yeah. Me and Alex actually had a discussion before the LVO about that playing list, and the discussion was there that if I can get into him on turn 1 with my list, I can probably table him.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with ITC. They have not adopted... Yeah, ITC have not adopted this acceptable casualties rule. So
yeah, chapter approved is using, which I think the ETC is using in some missions. It depends what the primary is.
Yeah, because in ETC, I believe you can still draw 2 missions that aren't actually in chapter approved.
I mean, primary. John will correct if we're wrong here, but I think it's. Like I say, I'm not completely opposed to the flyer list. I think it's a horrendous matchup for what I'm playing. But I think it has weaknesses, and one of those weaknesses may well be the Castellan list.
I think a potential weakness is if you misplace a jet, it dies.
Yeah,
I really think you catch a lot of people out because you can block a flyer's movement quite easily without them realizing.
The Eldar ones are much harder to do because they get the double pivot, but I think that there's a point to that the flyer list isn't easy to run because you are in danger of being tabled. You have to move block with it.
Yeah.
I think that John makes a good point, and the 2 players run it well.
Definitely.
Alex and Chewie.
I think you need legitimate skill to run that list.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really think you need legitimate skills to run it.
I think that's why I'm not that offended by it.
Yeah. Like I say, I think there is a big discrepancy between a Castellan list and that flyer list.
Yeah. I think the Castellan Brigade and the Castellan list has a much lower skill level to do reasonably with. But it's still, obviously, I'm not saying Brandon Grant won the LVO with it, and he absolutely played very well with it.
Well, there was a podcast about Brandon Grant, and it was about how to take huge losses in a game and still win it. Yeah. That was his whole game. He could still win a game with absolutely nothing left. Yeah,
and like I said, I'm not saying it's easy to win tournaments with the Castellan, but I think it's a lot harder to go like 0-5 with the Castellan Castellan Brigade.
Well, I sort of said that
just on models.
I think that list is one of them ones because I play Harlequins. I know what I could do to that list, and I think if you come up against the dedicated Harlequins list, it minces that list.
Does it get through the cast chance fast enough? You'll kill the question.
I mean, those Harlequin troops eat up the cast chance. And your jet bikes, haywire cannons will blitz Catachans as well. You can completely outpace the Catachans.
Yeah. The problem is, isn't it, a smart player there's going to force you to come in close to kill the Castellan because he'll put it right at the back and you've only got short range on the bikes, at which point the bikes get killed. And then I think you're on the back foot regardless of the lack of Castellan.
All I'm saying is, Brandon Grant, let's settle this on the tabletop.
But Yeah, the point I was making here is I think the Eldar list. If you give that Eldar list to a bad player, they will go 0-5 at a tournament.
Yeah, definitely.
I think if you give the Castran Brigade and the Castellan to a bad player, they'll go 2-3.
Yeah, I think they definitely pick up a win somewhere. I don't think they get blanked the entire time.
Yeah, I think you've got to be really. I'm going to offend someone here. You've got to be really, really bad to go 0-5 with the Castellan and Castran Brigade.
Just have a big Castellan 32 in the comments, like, "Oh, I never win. I don't think it's actually that good."
Yes, but whereas the flyer list, I think it obviously does require a know how to use.
Yeah.
No, the thing that always surprised me with the flyer list. So I watched some of Chewie's game against Orcs at the Belgian Team Champs, and I was surprised by how many he was killing because you don't have a lot of shots.
No.
Your firepower is actually reasonably. I mean, there's a lot of high strength, high AP, high damage stuff, but he was playing an Orc Horde. And he's cleaning up. I'm surprised by how much hook control it's got.
Yeah, it's a funny one, that one. But I think with the Castellan though, you're getting guaranteed kills.
Yeah.
Like if you hit and wound, you kill it. Like so, even if you're only removing many, you've got a guaranteed so many that you're taking out.
The planes are basically the same.
Yeah.
Because the vast majority of the weaponry on them is high strength, high AP, high damage.
Yeah.
You're at worst, like against pretty much every infantry in the game, you're at worst when you're on 3s, usually 2s.
Yeah.
And you're going to be AP minus 2, 3, 4, depending on what you're firing.
Yeah.
With damage 2 or 3 or D3 or something. So, I mean, I'm not surprised to see him cleaning up vehicle lists and monster lists and that sort of thing. But the true hordes, I was a little surprised how Chewie went through that horde list.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's just that notion of guaranteed kills rather than when you know you're picking up that many. It's like, right, I'm not. There's no point where my horde killing weapons just haven't quite worked.
Yeah. It's interesting. What's the answer to the plane meta then? What's the next meta step to beat that plane list? If you're building a list purely to beat the plane list, how do you do it?
Space Marine Stalkers. Mic drop.
Wow.
I want to see three
brigades.
Is it Hunters? The other Space Marine anti-air vehicle? Hunters and Stalkers, 3 of each.
3 brigades. Space Marine Scouts. Ravenwing Bikers. Not Ravenwing Bikers, Raven Guard Bikers. And yeah.
Actually, no, I've got it. Sisters of Battle. All flamers.
Yeah, Space Marine's carrying battle tank spam would do a good job of killing the Eldar flyers. The problem is the Eldar flyers are also custom made to kill the Sicarian battle tanks.
Actually, I'll warn you guys that I was so far ahead of the meta, I've already sold the army that beats the plane meta.
Hellions.
60 Hellions.
Yep.
60 Hellions.
Damage 2.
Damage 2.
For a slightly less ridiculous answer.
I think that works. I think I beat Alex Harrison with 60 Hellions. I'll tell him that.
I think the meta regresses slightly, and we go back to Castran Brigade with Blood Angels, Smash Captains, and Shield Captains on bikes.
I definitely think that. I think I've already seen people start to put Shield Captains back into their bikes. Either that, or we just see Matt go back to his Custo Jetbike spam.
Hello.
I don't think
Matt wins next year's LVO.
Very well, because again, you've got a lot of strength A lot of AP -3, and a lot of 3 damage weaponry on those planes. So they're really good at killing Custo bikes.
Those planes are really good at killing bikes. From when I was playing Custos before, that's when the planes started coming in low numbers. So it's a problem.
Yeah, I think anything that puts out a decent combat output with the fly keyword is going to be.
I think there's also a very good shout for the fairly standard 1,000 Suns Chaos Demons list, where you take like 90 bodies and then just a ton of smites and winged demon princes.
Matt's sending out a lot of Storm Boys that'll shred Eldar flyers as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they kind of do. I'm not sure they
I
do
think
that much.
no, because Eldar flies are like 10 wounds and a low toughness. I think probably.
They're not. They're 12 wounds, like a 3-up save.
I know
They're
it's
not.
where
They're
the
not.
Eldar
They're
flies.
definitely not 3-up save.
Pretty sure the Hemlock is.
Certain it's not.
I remember playing the Hemlock and being disappointed by having a silly number of wounds. It might have 13 or something really obnoxious.
I think the Razor Wings are definitely 10 with a 4
Oh,
plus.
no, the Drakari ones are definitely flimsy.
And I'm pretty sure the Eldar ones aren't far off. I don't think they have a 3 plus. I'm sure John will know, won't he?
Riser plasma destroyers.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
Sorry, what was...
Riser plasma destroyers.
Yeah, they kill themselves on half their hit rolls.
Yeah, but it kills.
They're probably still
100% of the
threes,
time,
wounding on
50% of the
twos, damage-free weapons.
It's the -2 to hit that's the problem.
Yeah, but you're probably hitting on twos or threes? Threes. Because you'll be hitting on twos before the minus to hit, probably.
Yeah, so you're going to hit. All Quaffle planes are T6, wound 12, 3 plus save.
Ah. There we go.
Hemlock has Feel No Pain 6 plus. Yeah, they're
I need to finish those
annoyingly
Hemlocks.
resilient. Yeah, they're annoyingly resilient at the Eldar planes. I mean, that's true for most of the Eldar tanks.
It's true for Eldar. Like, Dark Reapers have a 3 plus save. And no one knows.
John's just made the point that 30 Dark Reapers beats the plane list.
I have
Pretty
15.
handily.
Just saying.
Hmm?
I have 15.
Oh, well. Good.
And a load of
So, yeah.
Harlequin jet bikes that I think also do quite a good job against them.
Yeah, I'd imagine the Harlequin jet bikes are pretty good because you can also go punch them with your damage 2 weapon after you're done haywiring them. And then when they fly to fall back, you can use a strat to haywire them again.
That stratagem is so good. It is my favourite stratagem in any codex.
As I learned
Don't like
to my
it.
detriment.
Yep.
Yeah, me and Mark played a game on Saturday where one of my vultures died because he charged it. Didn't really do a lot to it when he charged it, but I then flew away because I didn't want to be in combat.
Well, it's
Got hit
weird.
without
Like
stuff.
I'm charging things not to kill them in combat, but to just make them either hover or fall back. It's a crazy tactic. It's my favourite thing to do with Harlequins because you do it with knights as well. A knight player stomps on you a little bit, maybe kills a bike, maybe 2 if he's done well, and then he's like, "Oh, I'd fall back, obviously," and you're like, sorry, mate, you're just giving me a second shooting phase."
The rough decision.
Yeah.
Nope.
Mm.
We do need that.
Yes, James.
Has my camera died here, or am I?
No, you're there. You just were
You're alright.
out. Oh, maybe his camera has died.
There we go. I'm back.
No, it's just he can't see himself, and he likes to look at himself while he talks about 40k.
It's the only reason I'm here. Mirror would be cheaper and easier.
So what are your guys' aims for this tournament that we're having on Sunday? What do you what's a good tournament for James and Matt?
For who? What? Who? What?
For us,
What's a good tournament for James and Matt is what I said.
I think even with a new book, given our local meta, James is. has
Oh,
got a-
Matt
he's
is
got a-
answering for you, James.
Yeah. I think he has to hope for a 3-0, despite being on a new book. You know our local player base. You know what our local player base is taking. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's all locals pretty much.
I mean, I'm
there's a few.
the only person that definitely knows what's coming, obviously, being the
Yeah.
TO. And just to secure, my list was the first in, by the way, guys. It's been locked in BCPs.
I've also seen this list. Yeah, I think Matt's reasonably correct. They're 3-0. Because I'm not really sure what I'm doing, I think there's some matchups in there that potentially, based on... Ooh.
Oh, that was the exciting stuff. It's his clear stealth suits, which are really freaking awesome.
Do you know what is going to be hard
Yes.
to build? Clear Ghost Keel.
Yeah, that's going to be a challenge.
You have to be careful with the glue burn on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think because there's a few armies in our local meta and a few of the players that are coming, I know what they play, that sort of thing, faction-wise rather than list, I'd be okay with a 2-1.
Yeah.
But ideally, I'd like a 3-0, yeah. Basically, every RTJ enter, I want a 3-0.
I've said to you, James, I'm in a bit of a weird spot in that I think I could maybe go 3-0. I think I'll probably go 2-1. I'd be disappointed with a 1-2. But also, if I want to go 3-0, there's a good chance that I have to go through you. We've played that many times that we know it just, I can't win that game.
It doesn't work out. Gene's still called this hard matchup. Although you are actually one of my more obnoxious matchups. My army doesn't work particularly well against us.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's just a tough draw. But
yeah, it's a weird one because like a lot of the meta matchups, stuff like people go to tournaments and go, I don't want Ynnari, I don't want Knights, I don't want Orcs. I would only like to play Ynnari, Knights, and Orcs, please, this weekend.
Yeah. I think me, Matt, Eddie, and Rob are in our own little AdMech group chat, the LadMech. And we were talking about just how the Gene Stealer cults are a big meta changer to all the things that are doing well. It's really weird. It's sort of like it's become a bit like it is in the fluff, but it's a tournament boogeyman.
Yeah, I think that's where Gene Stealer Cult will end up as well. I don't think they're necessarily going to be winning a lot of big tournaments, but I do think they're definitely something that the top armies will have to account for. Yeah, it's really strange. I think if you're going to a tournament with the intent of winning it, you have Gene Stealer Cult matchup. Also, John's putting a request to see the clear models again. He wants to know where he can get some clear Eldar Rangers.
I've not seen any Eldar Rangers. Hopefully this time, if I actually move that part of it off, I can hopefully see if it focuses.
Come back over. Yeah. You're way off the screen. Further.
Bit more. You guys are looking at a different camera.
All right.
It's a clear stealth suit, John.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they are very cool.
They don't do Eldar Rangers.
Even though Matt hasn't seen any clear Eldar Rangers, he will definitely give us the details to send to you for where he can, for where you can have a look and see if there are some, or you can ask them.
Yeah. I was going to say you can maybe email and see if there's anything they can do about it.
Because they're awesome.
They definitely do Eldar Rangers.
They're also a very good thing if you need an army done quickly for a tournament that is definitely going to be okay for not necessarily meeting painting requirements. No one's going to be angry at that because that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, no judge in the world's going, no, you can't use your clear stealth unit.
Yeah.
Well, the cool thing is, I actually saw, because a lot of people paint stealth units and they'll paint half of it like matching the base and half of it as a normal Tau unit. But what I saw someone had done these, masked off part of the clear bit and done that. So they put like a little like a blue line with a white highlight. And then painted it as a normal stealth suit.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's cool.
I did see one Golden Demon entry where someone had painted brickwork on it.
Yeah,
and that was insane. That was absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Was that the one where it was like the illusion picture you see where there's a man who's painted himself like a wall and you can only see him from certain angles, that sort of thing?
Yeah, some angles it was really actually difficult to tell that there was a cell suit there.
Yeah.
No, I really like to see what people do with stealth units. I think there's a lot of cool stuff.
So what's your hope for the event, Matt?
I think I've got a hope for 2-1. Going 3-0 would be good.
Well, that's the interesting thing about the RTT, though. There's enough people that 2 players can definitely go 3 now. I think with 20 people, I'm not sure if 3 can do it.
I've got a problem where if I hit
James
either
will
of your
know.
two
James will
lists,
tell me if it's right.
No.
2.5. So is it one of them ones where if someone draws up and then they get beat, it's a way of it sort of levels itself? I don't really know how it works, but
It's as soon as there's a draw, you drop to only 2 players who can.
Yeah. Right.
So you're almost guaranteed only 2 players will be undefeated.
So I believe at the last RTT that we did, 3 players did go 3-0. It was Toby, Matt, and you. Yeah.
It was larger.
Yeah, I know that, but
I think last one was like 25 or so, which is where the numbers get weird. I think you need 24 for it to be 3 guaranteed.
Yeah.
Assuming that you don't get like a final table draw or something weird, which
everyone draws at the end.
Yeah. It's you can get some really screwy events. I went to an RTT not long ago where it was an 8-man RTT, and of the 4 tables, 3 of them were draws round 1. It was just, what on earth has happened? Everyone move 1 position to the left and we'll see what we've got.
I believe the strangest RTT I've ever had is where I had the 3rd highest in-game score and didn't win a single game. Battle points, I was 3rd, and I finished 7th, I believe.
Yeah. I think you actually scored more than I did one round, and I won the event.
Yeah, it was, honestly, it was a tough one to take, James. I'm not going to lie. I was not very happy by the end of it, but I got best spots for that event, so
yeah,
it was all good in the end. But yeah, that one was a. I believe every time I handed in my score to you, you were like, "How have you not won a game yet?" I was like, "James, honestly, I'm trying, mate." I scored 20 plus in every game.
Yep.
Didn't win.
Yes, Jamjar, I did notice that the Gene Steel Cult Quad Bike's Heavy Flamer has a longer range than the Redeemer Land Raiders Flamestorm cannon.
Oh, brilliant. Of course it does.
It's a little odd. The Flamestorm cannon is, that should be being increased. I think we all agree that that's not okay.
I want to see triple Land Raider Crusader top table of the tournament.
But the Gene Stealer Cult Quad Bike, before we get carried away about its Heavy Flame having a long range from the Astartes Redeemer cannon, it's terrible. That Cult Quad Bike is so bad. But on the bright side, you can now take them in units, because the FAQ came out today, and now the Atalan Jackals units actually make sense. Because prior to today, you could only ever take them in units of exactly 4, 8, or 12.
Wow.
Because someone missed a word out in their unit description. Which meant that you could never actually take the bike, because you can take 1 for every 4, but you can't actually take them because you can only take the unit in multiples of 4.
I absolutely love some of the stuff that comes out in FAQs. Like, because someone has definitely asked those questions. It's like the one that I sent into our group chat earlier. I was like, someone was definitely arguing that Brood Brothers auxiliary support detachments aren't taken at -1 CP.
Yeah.
It's like, whoever's doing that, fair play to you, but stop.
It's the best one was the new chapter approved missions.
Yeah.
Where they said sudden death wasn't a thing, and someone asked if I concede, does my opponent win because there's no sudden death?
Yeah, I mean, some of them are just like.
So in theory, rules as written before that FAQ, you could get a point ahead in a game, concede, the game immediately ends, and
we all know I try that in every game of a tournament. I've asked you on many occasions, James, if you would like to concede after I've had my turn 1.
Yeah. One day, Mark.
See, the thing is, though, I'd be tempted to be a massive troll during a game and say yes and make them sit out for the next 2 hours, 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's not fun. Having played 20-minute games and stuff, it's not actually.
Yeah, if you just go, yeah, actually. And like, oh, really? Like, yeah, just have the 1 point win. It's fine.
We've now ruined both of our tournaments.
Yeah. Well, then. Or
you.
if it's one of our turn ones, James, we draw on 0 points each.
Yeah, we playing the super fast Harlequins and the plane
10-2.
heavy weird ambushy cult list that I was running, which has a hell of a first turn punch. Me and Mark successfully didn't score turn one of our last games.
I mean, that Death Jester is the single hardest man on the planet.
Death Jester who took a twin Punisher cannon to the face and was just okay with it.
He lived for a long period of that game as well. He didn't die until like turn 4.
You know what killed him?
Was it Neophytes?
It was a frag grenade from Neophyte Squad, yes.
That was it, yeah.
I think on Overwatch.
No, he didn't die on Overwatch.
No, I punched the other one to death in combat, then frag grenaded him with the same Neophyte Squad. Because fear the dudes who are just guardsmen in purple skin.
Death Jesters are weird to me.
They're a very odd unit.
I kind of hate them, but love them at the same time. They are the weirdest. I think there's a few units in codexes that you're like, these just don't quite belong in an army, and to me, Death Jesters kind of feel like that.
Well, I'm sort of in a similar boat with the Genestealer Cult Sanctus, who's the sniper character.
The sniper, yeah,
he's pretty boss, but I've run him once, and he disappointed me. So I've not run him since. He'll come back at some stage, because I do think there is value there. But at the moment, I'm playing the cool shit. And I think if you're going to snipe characters, it's much cooler to do it with the Calamorph than it is with the Sanctus.
Well, to me, it's I now use Death Jester's screening because of the cheapest unit in the Harlequin Codex, and it always to me just felt like, why is there a 24-inch sniper character in this army?
Yeah,
It just doesn't kind of fit into Harlequins anywhere. It's like they felt like, oh, we need. I don't even know why when writing the codex they were like, we need this. It just kind of didn't.
Because I mean, you never use his special bullet mode because it's kind of shit.
Yeah, unless you know you're definitely gonna get. If you're firing at cultists, and you know you're about to hit them for a load of punishment. Then
even then, the cannon does it better.
Yeah.
And so he's essentially half a Starweaver in damage output.
Yeah, but he's the cheapest unit in the Codex, so you're like, sure, I'll use him to get CP, and then screen out a Genestealer cult army. but yeah, he's such a weird unit to me.
Yeah, he's odd. He is really odd.
And I believe they're odd in the fluff as well. I believe they're not they're not the nicest of people.
No. But yeah, no, it's yours is just weird though.
It is. I love it.
Yeah.
I think I'm really looking forward to getting this Kiss Bomb painted and running that list. I've lost part of my fleet, but it's all right. I've lost a boat. Those boats were invincible.
They really irritate me.
Those boats are insane. They're my favourite fucking unit of all time.
Imagine if it was Wave Serpents though, Mark.
Yeah, but I can't shoot out of a Wave Serpent at a Patriarch, so...
Yeah. We should clarify, like, me saying I don't know what I'm doing with my Genestealer Cult, I don't think it's unfair to say, I've allowed Mark to kill my Patriarch Warlord 3 games in a row by forgetting he has fusion pistols inside of his transports.
Yeah, you are terrible at that. I mean, no, in the third time, my Harlequins walked up and shot him.
Yeah, it's like I'm not a bad player. I am horrendous with this cult book at the moment.
No, we have had 3 terrible games.
Yeah, we played a game last week where by about turn 3, we both admitted we'd have got the wooden spoon at any tournament we were attending that evening. It was just both of us were horrendous. I think I forgot to make my charges. I just skipped the charge phase 3 turns in a row and Mark let me go
there was
back.
always one side of the board you entirely neglected to charge on. There was a big blob happening in one area and you completely forgot about the other side of the board every turn.
Yep.
And my thing was, I just wasn't measuring out screens. I was just putting units in areas and going, yeah, that's about 18, so you can't drop in that gap. And it definitely was not 18.
No,
It was like 24.
I could definitely drop in all those gaps.
Yeah, and I was confident. And then I even at one point, Paul was sat by the table. I looked at you and went, Paul, there's a gap right next to you. Yeah, probably should have filled that. Which is so weird, because that is how you have got me in every game so far. We had a very close game before you went to the LBO, and it's because I lost it because I missed a gap on a building.
Yep.
That one was a tough one. I cried myself to sleep that night.
Yeah, it was the fact that you left a gap on. It wasn't even a gap near a building. It was exclusively the height of the building.
Yeah.
Because the building was 9 inches tall. I came in on the top floor, and my ambush was good enough that I came on the top floor, ran off it, we got to move, and then an ambush there again with another unit.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Mark, what are you doing?
What mistake? Make that mistake again.
Oh dear.
Oh, God. We have strange games, James.
Yeah,
we know what the result is going in, but some weird shit always happens.
Yeah, we've reached a stage now where you and me have probably played each other 100 times now.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, so it's just got to the point where we can probably predict the result 5 minutes in.
Well, I've said to you that I think it's made me so much of a better player, but at this point I don't know how to control a game because I'm always behind. Like, I'm dragging 17 to 20 points out of our games a lot, which is a good tournament score if you're losing. But I then go into a game with a guy that I'm starting to win, and I'm like, can you kill my jetbikes, please, so I know how to play the rest of this game? If you could just delete 600 points of my army, I'd really appreciate it, mate, because then I can get back into it.
Yep, it's one of them. Mark doesn't know how to play a game if he's not 15 points behind from turn 2 onwards.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't. They're like, oh, what are you going to do now? I'm like, honestly, mate, I've really got to think about this. You're like 20 points up, mate. Can you have your set? I was like, no, because you're going to kill me at some point. You've still got Gene Stealers in reserve. I'm a Knights player. I don't trust that.
Yeah.
No, it's a crazy. I'm in a very strange spot whenever I go to a tournament, because it's just like, I don't know what I'm doing at this point. People look at me like, oh, wait, he doesn't know what he's doing. I genuinely don't. If you are beating me, I know what I'm doing. If I'm ahead, I have no clue what's going on.
My favourite tournament you went to is the one where you played my Tyranids and G-Stealer Cult and just was so confused by the whole experience.
It wasn't that. It was just the fact that it was like, I've failed to make any one of these ambush rolls.
Welcome to my world. I'm so glad they're not a thing anymore.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, not only that, I'd lost my first game by a point, which meant I got Tom Douch that had drawn his game. And it was just like, a very good player. That was my second ever game with Tyranids.
Yeah, it was also like his second ever game with that guard soup list. But Tom's a bit like Matt in that Tom plays the meta list and will attend tournaments completely unpracticed.
I love Tom.
I love Tom too. He's a good boy.
My guy.
I also love Tom.
It's Vegas, baby.
Hey, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, James.
Yeah, it's true.
So, I've got my second self suit, and I think we probably need to wrap up for tonight.
I think that's fair. We have time.
We basically turned up and chatted shit for a while.
That's what we always do, but, you know, it's working now.
Guys, I want your final predictions for the RTT. Where are we all going to come? I want a specific placing as well. I don't mean record. Tell me where you're going to come in the RTT this weekend.
I'm going to beat Matt on the top table for the win.
In fact, we'll all rank each other. We'll all place each other.
Okay.
So James, where do me and Matt both finish after you've beaten Matt on the top table?
Not Matt fourth.
You knock Matt's fourth. That's tough.
I think you do your wild thing of avoiding me but playing on the other top table and finish second.
That would be a good finish.
Ooh,
A 1,
that
2,
would
4
be an
finish
incredible
would be good,
finish.
especially if we can get someone in third that we like.
Ben Tilford.
Is
Yeah,
Tilford
Tilford
to the RTT?
That's the dream finish. Me first, Mark second, Tilford third, Matt fourth.
Is Tilford
Sorry, Matt, I
to
don't
the
want to
RTT?
put you down there.
Tilford is at the RTT.
Yeah.
Oh, I can shoot him.
I don't want to put you down there, Matt, but unfortunately, you keep playing me on the top table of time.
Yeah, that means I think if I come up against either of you two, with what I'm planning on taking, I'm gonna hit a problem.
I think it sounds like Matt's bringing Knights.
Yeah,
by that specific statement.
I don't know, because if I bring my AdMech, I think I run into the same problem with you both.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, I've played the AdMech matchup once already last week, and it is not pretty for the AdMech player.
Yeah. I think if I can dodge you both all 3 games, so end up on that second top table or on the first top table against neither of you, I think I can go 3-0. I think otherwise I'm going 2-1.
Right.
It heavily depends on that round 1 draw.
So what's the rankings, Matt? Where do me, you, and James finish on the table?
I think James comes first or second. First, I'm gonna go with first.
Yeah, James has high scored all 3 of his games.
Yeah.
I think I either win all 3 and win it, or don't win all 3. I think if I win all 3 games, I high score with the list I'm taking.
Based on me putting you winning 3 games, I'm going to put myself in 4th. Unless I can avoid that top table matchup against you.
Yeah.
In which case, I'll be hoping to get like 30 points. and come like 4th. Which I won't. And Mark, how many we got? 17?
20.
20. Can eat here as well. I think you're going to do really well. I'm not I don't know what list you're bringing. I'm sure you'll tell me off stream, but knowing who's financing what you can bring, I know you have the potential to maybe not for this, but for the future, bring some pill. But you've been playing with that list for a long while now, and you really are getting the finesse down with it. I think I'm going to call Mark third.
Okay.
I'm going to call that.
Is Mark losing on the other top table, or is Mark losing early and then?
I have a habit of losing early. I've been known to lose my first game a lot.
Are we only going to have 2 on 3-0? Is that it?
Probably.
Be 2. Yeah. So I don't think Mark can top table and still come third, because you normally get beaten down the rankings when you lose on the top table.
Yeah.
It depends, unless I have a crazy game and still score like. Obviously, we've seen that I can score 20 points and lose every game.
I think second is going to be between Mark and John. I think we're going to go James, Mark, Big John Muller, and then I'm going to roll in 4th because he keeps taking 3rd place.
He does.
Every time I think I'm going to go
John
3rd,
is an RTT master, isn't he?
Yeah. Every time I think I'm going to go 3rd, I fuck up my last game, and John jumps up there from somewhere.
I personally, I think James is obviously always a good shout for first. I think you're always around the top, Matt. So I like you in 4th actually. I like that. I think 4th's a really good shout for you. I don't know if this is going to be the RTT where you get 3rd, but I think Matt's 3rd or 4th. I just don't know which one.
This could be the RTT.
I think I'm in a really awkward spot where if I do well, I've made it to a top table, and I worry that it's against you, James.
Yeah, I can fully see that being the final.
Yeah, and I wanna big myself up. I wanna give myself first. I just wanna be confident. I think I wanna go in with that winning mentality and give myself first. I don't think I can do it. What I'm gonna say is I'm gonna go.
You can beat me.
Yeah, I think it's just too hard. Because I have to outplay you and you have to make a mistake.
Yeah,
and I think I have to get lucky as well.
You don't beat me on the matchup. I have to give you an in.
I think we've played enough times that you not to do that. What I'm actually going to say is I'm going to go James first. I'm actually going to put Matt third. I'm going to put myself in second. I'm going for an MMX stream podium.
That would be.
Wow.
That would be a dream.
If we manage to pull off the first, second, thirds, and fourth that we're claiming, we're either very egotistical.
I think I maybe take Matt round 2. Beat him. I'm sorry, Matt. Maybe beat him, but then he fucking totals someone round 3.
Goes on a revenge rampage.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think he maybe totals someone
Hi,
round 3.
Tim. How did you get up here?
Tim's
think
played Dave round 1.
if any of us are 1-1 going into the last round, we're too low down and we should annihilate somebody and fly up.
Yeah, because obviously that third place is very likely that they're going to be a 2-1.
That third place is a 1.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a 3-0.
And the third and fourth at RTTs are weird because they should be a 2-1, but they're very unlikely to be one of the top table losers.
Yeah. I think the only way I go 3-0 and win it is if James comes up against someone that's really difficult for him to beat and I can sneak him in the last round. But then again, I've got to match your score near enough and not draw you at that point anyway. So
it's one of them. With my list, if I'm winning games, I'm scoring 35 plus points.
Yeah, I don't do that with the Harlequins list. My list is designed to win, but it needs a GT format to do it in, where I've got 5 games to then one of the few
pile up the
yeah.
Whereas the way that mine goes, it's but it kicks your teeth in. So I'm either winning massive or losing a game. I don't think there's a game where we have like a 22-20 or something with my list. It's just I'm either going to blow people away or I'm going to lose.
Yeah, so
I don't think since we've been playing ITC, I don't think I've ever gone into an RTT with as weak list as I'm going this weekend. I think this is the one to beat now.
I also want to give best sports Ben Tilford. I want to give best painting Rob Anderson.
Oh, is Dan at this event?
Dan is at this event.
The best paint Dan, then I would predict.
You think best paint Dan?
And I'm gonna go for the clean sweep for Dan. He's gonna get best sport and best paint.
You think he gets the? We need to coin a term for that. Because Renaissance Man, you have to play well as well, so that's a different thing. Yeah. Renaissance Man, you have to like top tables.
I'm predicting Dan to come like 18th, but win best sport and best paint.
Yeah, Dan, bless him, still getting the hang of that Sisters beta decks.
Yeah, I mean it depends. He might lose his best sport and best paint spots if he does the list that I told him to do that I wrote. That me and Matt wrote on the plane back from.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I think Tilford gets best sports for this one. I think that's no slight to anyone attending. I've got a feeling about Tilford. And I think Rob's won best painted enough that he's always a good shout for best painted.
Yeah, I think John.
I don't want to say myself. I'd like to win it, but I can't bring myself to say myself for best painted.
I think John's always a fair shout as well to be in that best painted conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
Assuming he's bringing his wolves and isn't doing a.
Well, I think Rob's updated his Drakari army, so it's got those 3 awesome Eldar characters that he's made to look like Drakari.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I think they're what tips it for him. So those are my complete rankings for the tournament. I've got you first, me second, Matt third in an MMX podium, Rob for best army, Tilford for best sports.
Interesting.
That's cool. So
okay, well
let's tune in next Monday. Yeah.
When we came 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Yeah.
Shit went down. Right. So over and out from us. We'll see you next week, probably around the same time. So yeah, about 7:30 probably. We'll put it up on Facebook and start 20 minutes afterwards.
Don't say a time, Matt. That's
what I'm saying. We'll
give them a time of day. Yeah. Like give them an evening. We'll see you next evening.
Monday night.
Yeah. We'll say 7, but if you guys want to turn up about 1:30, that's about right.
Yeah.
Usually how it works.
At worst, you miss 20 minutes of awkward intro.
And also, be sure to catch up on the MMX hobby hangout episodes on our Twitch channel. Feel free to go back and watch our last amazing. It's not a podcast. It's a stream. We'll call it a stream.
Yeah.
So obviously we are not behind a paywall, so it's free to go back and view all our previous content. So be sure to do that and let us know what you think as well. We're always looking for feedback,
so then we can improve stuff.
Yeah.
So. You can like spot questions like, why is Matt now in a bedroom?
Yeah.
Because my
if you guys
shits and the bulbs.
What I want is we need to start like a weird Chinese whisper and see if it makes its way across the internet with the stream. Like if everyone could comment in like competitive 40k and Warhammer 40k, I hear James Mackenzie has a third arm.
Yeah, let's go with
James Mackenzie.
Yeah. I want to see that in comment sections for shit that. I want to see it in comment sections of like the Lad Bible. I want it to go across the internet. I want Ellen.
I'm gonna shut us down now. Like I'm gonna count down like
5. Can we maybe not use my